In the beginning, there was only sand. From sand came rocks, oceans, life, trees, flowers, mushrooms. From sand came buildings, factories, industry, pain, joy, hope. From sand came gold. This is the story of Sandustry.
You're navigating the galaxy and you come across a distress signal originating from a nearby recently discovered planet dubbed Titan X. It's known that a large group of planetary resource explorers ventured off onto the planet to discover whatever materials Titan X had to offer. However, it's been 2 months of silence, and there have been no updates from the crew. Realizing that you're the only ship within distance, you turn on your navigation and head towards Titan. After making planetfall on Titan X, you scour the surface in search of clues on the whereabouts of the missing expedition. Seeing none, you decide to establish a forward operating base. The missing crew must be found, but first you need to acquire life-sustaining materials. Giant flower-like plants are abundant near your landing zone, and they give you hope that, perhaps, the marooned crew found a way to survive and thrive. The surface of the planet seems quite capable of sustaining life. Large pools of water are visible, and scans show significant underground resources. However, there is an ominous and impressive silence. This planet is quiet. Maybe too quiet. While on a routine excursion in search of fresh water, you come across a serendipitous discovery. An active volcano will provide your new base with unlimited thermal resources, which are key to the long-term viability of any mining outpost. Perhaps the missing crew has a chance. Your optimism is quickly crushed, however, upon the discovery of a grisly scene: the desiccated body of a missing crewman. His personal effects leave you stuck with a mystery. Nothing seems amiss. It's almost like he was doing a routine task when a catastrophe occurred. But what? You need to do more investigating. You've discovered what appears to be the main access tunnel dug by the missing crew. It's seemingly quite sophisticated, but you are left troubled. Why was it covered in soil? How long could the crew survive without access to the surface? Perhaps that atmospheric vent means there is still hope? Your base operations keep expanding and require nearly all of your attention, but your focus is broken every time you think of the crew. There's an agonizing choice between searching for survivors and ensuring survival for yourself. You decide to spelunk to the bottom of the shaft. You find a large cave with many branching tunnel systems, but no miners or equipment. There are certainly enough raw resources on this planet to warrant large-scale operations, but something went very wrong here. It seems that every day on Titan X brings the discovery of another body. You found one at the bottom of a lake, another in what appears to have been a temporary surface shelter. There are remarkably few clues. Your mind is flummoxed, and your heart is heavy. Meanwhile, your own standard of living has improved greatly. You have managed to automate many menial daily tasks using only what planet has to offer. Perhaps this alien landscape wouldn't be such a bad place to live if the circumstances were different. For now, you need to find out what happened to the exploratory mission in order to avoid a similar fate for yourself. Your mind is torn between the lost mission and providing for your own sustenance. With great effort, you have managed to complete all the necessary tasks for basic survival. Still, you haven't found the truly valuable resources the crew was undoubtedly hoping to find. Perhaps their entire project was for naught. You steel your resolve to finish the search for all the missing crew, but you worry it may take much longer than you had hoped. This planet's many interesting features have caused you to encounter many unique challenges, each of them requiring immediate action when they arise. Perhaps you have just gotten lucky so far. Clearly, they didn't have such luck. With your discovery of the obnoxiously rare red sand, You've confirmed that the ill-fated crew were correct in targeting Titan X for mineral extraction. It is a critically necessary component for any colony that wants to have long-term viability. You immediately put it to use at your own operations, to great effect. Meanwhile, you are left with many questions. Did the members of the exploratory mission ever manage to find the motherlode themselves? Is it possible some of them escaped the calamity that claimed all their comrades? Will whatever awful event that happened to these poor souls happen again? Now that your own operations are on seemingly solid ground, you are both blessed and cursed with more free time to ponder what it all means. Having been freed from the most pressing issues of survival, you decide to venture further into the planet. One thing has become clear. This is no longer a rescue mission. This is a recovery mission. You feel a responsibility to find all the missing crew, even if you don't know how many there were. The more and more you blast away at the cave complexes of Titan, the more and more bodies you find. Some appear to have been better off than others, if you can call it that, seemingly trapped for days. Others look as if the calamity overtook them in moments. You are exhausted, mentally and physically. The tragic discoveries you have made during these recent mining expeditions have left your head spinning, but you finally have some answers to all those persistent questions. You've found a journal. When we first arrived on this planet, we were bewildered by our scanning data. The scans showed abundant biomass covering the surface, but we landed in a sandy wasteland. Within the first hours of planetfall, massive flowers began to erupt from the surface. Titan's abnormally fast rotations caused unceasing winds, so we welcomed the flowers, providing a windbreak for our fledgling operations. Captain Deuce Stevens has dubbed them Lantus amethellus, after the beautiful violet hue of their petals. Testing revealed a fourth-order interaction with the red sands recovered from our test wells. We were overjoyed. We had hit the jackpot. Then the flowers wilted, and the winds returned. The moment the captain died will forever replay in my head. A massive gust caught his sand shield while we were climbing the volcano. He slipped and we heard him screaming all the way to the terrible end. Blow, slip, scream. Blow, slip, scream. Over and over in an endless loop. The only thing we've recovered is his battered helmet. After the sand wall came, I took shelter in Tunnel 1 Hab complex. I don't know where anyone else is. I pace the room incessantly, willing the universe to produce a knock at the door. It has now been 3 days. The torturous silence is only broken by the low growl of the sandstorm several hundred meters above me. Power levels have reached critical low. The emanators are failing. I don't have much time. The dead man's journal seemed to have confirmed your worst suspicions. The calamity that befell the crew of the LSS Flawless appeared to be a seasonal sandstorm, a titanic one. The local flora had adapted their growth cycles to coincide with the massive influx of nutrients that came with the storm. The trouble is, you are seeing signs that the amethellus is starting to die back. The readings from your atmospheric scanning is showing increased atmospheric convection. It seems that Titan is gearing up for its seasonal tradition, but you don't want to stick around to experience it.
Seeking to avoid a piteous ending like your predecessor, you decide the time is right to make your escape from Titan X. You begin making preparations immediately, securing supplies, checking equipment, and battening down the hatches of your base operations. You hope that your project can survive in your absence. You hope the future arrivals will appreciate your innovative contraptions. You hope it will help them survive, but at this point, hope is more than you can give. All this loneliness, all this tragedy, it's enough to leave any traveler numb. At this point, you don't care anymore. You've loaded all the recovered crew members into your cargo hold, along with your core samples, amethellus spores, and treasures. With the wind gusts whistling through your launch tower, you take one last look at Titan X. Good riddance. You strap Captain Stevens' helmet to the wall and take your seat in your cabin. You set your course to Zorvix 22, take a deep breath, and hit the button.
You abandon your facility on Titan X just in time, with your listeners indicating a massive sandstorm inundated your emanators within hours of your escape. So be it, you think. You're just happy to be headed home. You try to avoid thinking about all the paperwork and awkward interviews you'll face, showing up at the spaceport with a hold full of bodies. Future me problem. Zorvix is just a few hops away when an awful noise overtakes the cabin. You look up at the screen just in time to see the alert. Impact expected. You come to your senses in total darkness. Your head, your neck, your back, everything is screaming in pain. You grasp around your body just to confirm the parts are still there. You hear a sloshing sound and realize your cabin is rolling around. You let your hand limp and realize, yes, you aren't in space anymore. After fumbling around in the darkness, you make your way to the hatch. The brightness nearly blinds you when you open it, and you are awash in scents and sounds. You climb out and look around. You've come ashore on a small island. You take a deep breath. You scream. You were so close. It takes 2 full days before the reality sets in. Your ship, or what's left of it, has no power. Your few attempts to power the SOS beacons have failed. No one is going to save you today, so you have to live until tomorrow. You make a camp nearby to cook the creatures you find on the beach. You cut loose Captain Stevens' helmet and put it on a stake near the fire. The crash damaged it even more. The only thing you can make out on it now are the painted letters, Stev. He is the whole reason you're here. A fruit falls from the nearby tree. You smell it. It's sweet. With no better option, you eat it. Thanks, Captain. Then an insect bites your neck, and you swat it away. It stings. Thanks, Stev. You hate Stev. Ever since the crash, you have refused to accept your inevitable fate. You shout at the horizon whenever your fear overcomes your exhaustion. You are thirsty and famished. You find fresh water trapped in the base of a plant. You immediately suck down the fluid. It tastes sour and bitter, truly terrible tasting. Within hours, your mind has completely changed. This source of hydration, which didn't kill you, is suddenly your favorite thing in the world. It reminds you of the finest tonics on Zorvix. You can't wait to have the real thing. Any day now, someone will find you. You scavenge the beach looking for wreckage from your ship, hoping for anything that might be useful. You jam a sharp piece of your heat shield onto a stick to fashion a crude spear. Your fishing efforts are now handsomely rewarded, and your prospects are looking up. While clambering over the rocks in the surf, you slip, and your makeshift blade gashes your leg. You decide to wrap it in leaves. That's not good enough, traveler. Did that helmet just talk to you? What am I supposed to do, Stev? You need to cauterize it, traveler. Easy for you to say. Apparently, Stev is a sadist. It has now been 47 days since you washed ashore. Your leg is mostly healed, but you are in constant pain. It's an ever-present reminder to think smarter. You've managed to find a sustainable rhythm for island life. You found some amethella spores washed up on the beach, and you planted them on top of the dunes. With even less resources than you had on Titan X, you still feel fairly confident in your longevity. You decide that any help beacons your ship must have sent would have alerted someone by now. You write help on the beach with all the junk you can find, and wait. And wait. The crashing of waves is a special kind of sound. It is relentless in a way that no intelligent being could replicate. You don't have to hope that the next crash will come. It is coming. You take a break from cutting amethellus to have a drink from the water plants. Zorvix tonic, you call it. You glance at Stev. He's staring off to the horizon. Do you see that, traveler? Your heart jumps. In the distance, you see some sort of large sailing ship coming straight at you. You've planned for this. You spring into action after spotting a ship offshore. You've spent so much time dreaming of this moment, You almost forget your plan. You grab a stick from the fire and run over to the enormous pile of amethyst. You light it ablaze. You run to your ship's wreckage and begin heaving wildly on a large rope. It's attached like a spider's web to every piece of metal you've recovered, causing them to clang into each other. It makes a colossal racket. This has to get their attention. After a minute, you're exhausted. You close your eyes and scream. You scream until your lungs give out. The inferno of plants is nearly burning your skin. You open your eyes. The ship is gone. You can't scream anymore. You collapse to the ground, grab a rock, and throw it at Stev. You miss. It's been 293 days since the crash. At least, you're fairly certain. Did you remember to mark down yesterday? Stev asks. I told you to stop it with the conspiracy theories, Stev. I'm just looking out for you, traveler. You wish Stev had been looking out for you 293 days ago. You wish Stev had been looking out for you when he saw that ship. The conflagration had nearly completely destroyed your camp, and yet you planted more spores. Your body has reflexively decided what your mind is just now realizing. No one is coming for you, but you must go on. The sun will keep on rising. The waves will keep on crashing. It's time to abandon ship, traveler. We've been on an island for 4 years, and you tell me to abandon ship, Stev? Fine, abandon the ship. You've decided Stev is right. There's nothing left for you on this island, just perpetual and pointless monotony. You managed to fashion a catamaran out of a tree trunk and bundled amethyst stalks. You craft a sail from leaves, stitched together with your ropes. You fill your boat to the brim with food and pots of Zorvik's tonic. You struggle with the idea of leaving behind all the mementos you have recovered from the LSS Flawless. Traveler, we don't have room for trinkets. They are long gone. We need to prioritize our own survival. You've never been great at understanding irony, Stev. You take one last look at your camp, put Stev in his seat near the bow, and wade into the surf. You've been on the water for 3 days when you first hear it, a low grumbling in the distance. Then you spot the dark clouds on the horizon. They're flashing. A storm is coming. You contemplate your options. There are none. You turn your boat directly into the waves and trim your sail. It will be okay, traveler. This is our destiny. Within moments, the tempest overtakes you. Your sail is shredded. Your catamarans disintegrate. A giant wave crashes over your bow. You wipe the water from your eyes. Stev is gone. Stev! You black out. You awaken sometime later. Your boat is barely afloat. All your supplies have washed away. Your best friend is gone. You are lost. You are alone. You are hopeless. You cast your eyes to the heavens, an abyss of sadness and darkness. Then you see a light. It's coming straight for you.
They were kind at first. After being looked over by a rough-looking doctor, you're given an intensive hygiene regimen and a meal fit for an admiral. After you eat, a crewman took you to see the captain. Welcome aboard, traveler. We were dispatched to find you when the SOS beacon was received. Frankly, I can't believe you're alive. You have quite a name for yourself. She stares across her desk at you. I assume you would be okay if we dropped you off at Zorvik's? The crew that rescued you from certain death took you in as one of their own. They begged to hear you regale your stories, and they especially loved to hear about your time on Titan X. They seem less interested in hearing about your 4 years alone on an island. Your time stuck alone has warped your social abilities. Are you just imagining it, or have the crew turned on you? Where once there was camaraderie, they now watch you cautiously. You decide to visit the captain. Her cabin is open, but no one is there. You walk up to her desk and peer at her screen. Something in the corner catches your eye, in bold type. Wanted. for piracy and the murder of the crew of the LSS Flawless. It's your picture. I told you, you made quite a name for yourself. You whip around and see the captain pointing a stunner at your head. We're making a pit stop. We have to wait for payment. You spend the next 2 days locked in your cabin. The captain comes over the intercom. We're having some trouble getting the credits transferred, and that's bad news for you. You're startled. What do you want from me? I'm innocent, and I don't have a thing to my name. Well, the 100,000 credits I'm owed would be a good start. You can hear her laughing. Until then, I know a good place to get you a little R&R. You hear and feel the ship's entry burners fire. After landing, the crew stuns you and carries you into a concrete hut. There's one barred window and a faucet sticking out of the opposite wall. They drop you in the middle of the dirt floor. Good luck, one of them says as they slam the door. After an hour of yelling at the crew and pounding at the locked door, you get bored. You decide to test the faucet. There's a meager trickle, but it's running. Figures as much. You're not much use to them if you're dead. While stomping the ground in pathological despair, you hear it. A hollow noise. You swiftly kick away the dirt and find a small steel plate. A trap door. At the bottom of a long and narrow shaft, you find a small cave covered in bizarre graffiti. You see a makeshift door and smell the mold in the air. You hear running water. If there's one thing you know about mines, there's always a second way out. You open the door. The scene behind the door is both uplifting and soul-crushing. It's a large cistern with various inlets in the ceiling and what looks like a large drain at the bottom. There's a slow drip coming from overhead. So that's where the faucet gets its water. It's so dark that you struggle to find a path forward. Making your way across a catwalk, you bump into a wall. You feel your way around, but this seems to be the end. This can't be it, you say out loud. The echo haunts you. You decide to turn back and plead for food. Back in the hut, you replace the trap door and cover it with dirt. You yell out the window, begging for a sympathetic ear. One of the crew sighs and tosses in a ration pack. You fill it with water, stir it, and sit against the wall. The gelatinous mush is atrocious, but you choke it down. You miss your ship. You miss the island. You miss Stev. You should have chosen a different career. Over the next few days, you make 2 more trips to the cistern. You find a hammer in the cave with a splintered handle. This may be useful. You wonder what purpose this place must have served. A prison? A safe house? The graffiti offers no elucidation. It was clearly made by a lunatic. Remembering how you found the shaft in the first place, you use your hammer to tap on the wall at the end of the catwalk. It seems like solid concrete. Then you hear a ping. Something metallic. You feel around with your hand. There's a small metal slot embedded in the wall. You go back to the surface. You summon your courage. You call out to the crew and do your best to moan dramatically. What do you want? The crewman asks. My tooth is killing me. You give another dramatic moan. That sounds like a you problem. Come on, man. Just give me a screwdriver. I'll take care of it myself. You feel a blast of air as you push the door in. You find an incredible sight. Rusted machines aligned in perfect rows, bedazzled by the glorious shine of fluxite crystals. You feel immediately at home, in a perverse sort of way. This reminds you of your time on Titan X, back when this whole mess began. You've got work to do. You survey the room for another entrance. At the far end, you see multiple conveyors emerging from the depths. Their belts are rotten and hang like towels in the wind. There is no exit. You face a choice. Fix the machines and buy your freedom, if they'll let you, or try to escape. To who knows what. The decision is easy. Both. You demand to speak with the captain and offer her a deal. You give me what I need, and I'll have your credits for you in a month. You're being deliberately coy. The captain mulls it over. She's as sick of being here as you are. The marshal's ships will be here in a week, and I don't care where my meals come from. You panic. I'll double it. Fine. What do you need? She looks at you skeptically. 3 tires, a wrench, and a shovel. Cleaning the collapsed tunnel had given you eerie feelings all along, but when you break through and see the craft, surrounded by deconstructed machines, your brain just ignores the skeleton on the floor. There's a massive hangar door at the other end. So that's the poor sap whose work you've been admiring. The graffiti suddenly makes sense. He was calculating trajectories. You had decided to make a deal with the captain, whatever the cost. You never had the intention of keeping the deal. The craft's emanators still seem workable, but the tires are rotten. Tires acquired, you spend the next few days test firing the craft. You borrow a torch under the guise of repairing equipment, and use it to cut loose the hangar locks. You open it just enough to see a blinding light, the star. You meticulously load whatever fluxite you can find and a few cans of water. You don't have any food to bring with you, but starvation out there is better than any food you would get on a prisoner ship. Mentally, you've long since given up hope on proving your innocence. With no credits to your name, justice is out of reach. Such is the way of the universe. Escape isn't an option, it's the only option. You decide there is no better time than the present. You push the hangar doors open and climb into the cockpit. You take a deep breath and hit ignite. You knew it couldn't last forever. You only had so much fluxite. The emanators looked decades old. The wings looked like they would rip off at any moment. The makeshift craft had an expiration date. You just didn't know when. Your exit from your imprisonment hadn't exactly been quiet, but you were betting on a few things. Your captors were unprepared, and you were unbelievably motivated. Certainly, they thought you had a death wish, so maybe they wouldn't look too hard. Flying just above the trees, this planet strangely reminds you of home. The way the light glistened off the plants, the brilliant color of the star. It feels so good to be free, even if it only proves to be temporary. You climb over a range of foothills and descend into a canyon. You encounter an incredible sight. Massive trees, covered in scarlet and crimson boughs. It takes your breath away, at exactly the wrong time. Your rudder gets jammed and the craft starts to yaw wildly. You slam your controls. The rudder breaks loose, but now you're stalling. You point your nose to a smooth cliff face, hold your breath, and touch down. You can't believe your luck, if you can even call it that anymore. Karma, cosmic equivalence, fate. Somehow you find yourself here once again. Again, here. Alone, lost, starting over. You climb out of the craft and look out at your new home. No civilization in sight. A sea of red blanketing the floor and cliff faces of the valley. You spot an overhang with a small pond. Shelter, water, sand. What more could you ask for? Your first few days are much harder than you were hoping for. The waters of the pond taste terrible, even by the standards of Zorvik's tonic. You struggle to find food until you manage to spear a creature in a nearby stream. Water and energy, the two necessities of life, are in short supply. You struggle to make a fire. The imminently available leaves of your giant new neighbors seem to be almost fireproof. You discover that they do have one redeeming quality. They make perfect umbrellas. You swear, an hour can't pass without a brief but sudden downpour. There's that pesky karma again. You're just not sure if you're repaying a debt or banking credits. When you're not tending to the basic necessities of survival, you spend your time tinkering with the craft. It's worse for wear, but you think you can repurpose the emanator to get a new operation up and running. This is the kind of head start you could have only dreamed of when stuck on the island with Stev. You still miss him. This valley is abundant with natural wonders. Giant mushrooms scattered amongst the emberleaf trees seem to radiate red soil. You are hopeful. Maybe you can build your way out of this situation before the captain or the marshals find you. You've certainly done less with more in the past. You managed to set up a solid processing system, but it comes with a slew of new problems. You struggle finding enough water to keep the sluices from jamming. Your biggest challenge is storage. Seems like every move you make just creates more things you then have to deal with. It reminds you of being stuck in the mud. The worst thing you can do is try to move too fast. The second worst thing you can do is move too slow. With your immediate survival no longer in doubt, you set your eyes on bigger challenges. If you ever want to leave here and go back to Zorvix, you need more emanators. You need more fluxite. You need more everything. With more everything comes more everything. You've accumulated a massive backlog of Amethyllus with no viable plans for resolution. You spent years streamlining and optimizing and fixing, and yet the purple menace still keeps you up at night. With everything to gain and even more to lose, you pledge to yourself that this will be that last time. In a rare moment of lucidity, you remember all the other times you've made that same pledge. You let out a deep sigh. Let's do this. If everything is a crisis, then nothing is a crisis. You decide to take life as it comes. Pumps fail, conveyors break, and sluices run dry. What's new? Certainly not adversity. In the grand equations of cosmic equivalence, it is said that input is always equal to output. If you want more out, you must pour more in. You have this insatiable need for more, so you decide to double down. You start to expand your operations. The factory must grow to provide for the needs of the growing factory. You sometimes wonder what it's all for. You've lost sight of the prize, but part of you is accepting of that. The dense shade of the emberleaf, the dazzling wonder of the ember shrooms. This place feels like a new home, a more peaceful home. To call it simply the rain would have been an obnoxious understatement. You could have almost set your clock to the persistent daily event, but now something is off. It comes heavier and heavier, never giving you a chance to dry off. The mud has taken on a life of its own. Anyone who has dug a hole in the rain knows that mud becomes a part of you, like a supporting actor in your play of life. It eats away at your willingness to forge ahead. Every single movement takes triple the energy. On the plus side, you have plenty of water for showers. To call it simply the rain would be an obnoxious understatement. You could have almost set your clock to the persistent daily event, but now something is off. It comes heavier and heavier, never giving you a chance to dry off. The mud has taken on a life of its own. Anyone who has dug a hole in the rain knows that mud becomes a part of you, like a supporting actor in your play of life. It eats away at your willingness to forge ahead. Every single movement takes triple the energy. On the plus side, you have plenty of water for showers. The grind of daily operations gives you both satisfaction and angst. When the sand is flowing, there is the pleasure of a job well done, and the worries of what will break next. People have this impression of factories, that they are finely tuned and well-honed machines that operate without failure. The reality is a symphony of chaos. In your free time, you've taken to drying and shredding ember leaves into strips. You weave them into baskets, fill the baskets with mud, and stack them to make a wall. You aren't quite sure why. There are few experiences more sublime than creating something with your own two hands. You achieve flow, fully immersed in the work at hand. You can ignore the sweat on your brow. You can ignore the aches. You can ignore your thoughts. There's knowledge, and then there's experience. A person with knowledge can understand something intellectually, but until you have done something yourself, over and over, with your own two hands, you don't truly know. The many lives you have experienced in the last half-decade have left you with profound experience that no one would be jealous of. You can spot fruitful veins from the smallest of clues. Infallibly, you can find water meters away underground, just on vibes. The beautiful and mysterious ember shrooms present you a new opportunity. The fruiting bodies are indications of massive reserves of valuable red sand. It would make you fabulously wealthy if you ever made it back to Zorvix. If there's anything you have learned, value is relative. Soak, sift, burn. Soak, plant, burn, sleep, eat, toil. The planet's overwhelming beauty is a clear blessing and a clear curse. You hunt endlessly for new natural treasures, and it never fails to satisfy you. Every time you see something new, however, it reminds you of where you are and where you long to be. Where you long to be is away from the endless toil, away from the endless grind. Is this just it? You ponder if you really want to spend the rest of your days here. Maybe you will choose to stay. Maybe you will find a way to leave. Maybe the choice will be made for you. You struggle with the idea that you truly have free will. Every thought you have, every action you take, is a probabilistic result of calculable equations. Nothing you do or think is deterministic. The end result has already been calculated. So why are you here? What kind of sadistic mathematics would put you through so much? You've never believed in curses, but you can't deny your arithmetic is tainted. You're running Fluxite production numbers through your head when you decide to glance up toward the valley. The brilliant star is setting, dazzling your alien mind for what feels like the 1000th time when you see it. A flash. At first, the flash means nothing to you. You can't see its origin, and even if you could, you no longer trust your own faculties. This long time alone, save a brief respite, has you constantly questioning the vitality of your own mind. Then the flash means everything to you. You hear the unmistakable hum of RCS jets, and then a massive ship looms overhead. You've been here before. The bounty hunters have found you. The captain is back. You didn't run. You didn't even struggle. The doctrine of nonviolence has its time and place, but the doctrine of not dying violently is what you ultimately settled on. Chafing against your newly issued set of chains, you were brought in front of the captain. We've been watching you, and I want to say thank you for making all this Fluxite for me. Her wry smile enrages you, but you hold it in. Well, I guess I should say thank you for your patience, you respond coldly. You still owe us credits, and the marshals aren't paying, so you just got yourself a job. You hold up your chains. So this is how you treat your employees? She laughs so hard that she snorts like a pig. Oh, my sweet summer child, you're not an employee. They march you off of the ship, blindfolded and in shackles. They take you to the captain. Well, well, she says. You're lucky I'm feeling generous today. The cold steel doesn't feel generous. Pay me what you owe me, and I'll give you a ride out of here. You nod your head. You don't even know where here is. So 100,000 credits and you'll let me go, you ask? It's worth a shot. She laughs her cruel laugh once again. Well, you doubled it. Plus, of course, there's interest, lodging fees, escape fees, recovery fees. Let's call it an even 250. You begin to protest, but she unholsters her stunner. It's not an offer. They take you to a small room. A man you've never seen before walks in. Tall, but solidly built. He had a dusty mask covering his face. Who are you? He asks brusquely. He looks down at his clipboard. My name is... He cuts you off. I don't care. You are now 1257. 10th 3. He tosses a pair of overalls at you. He knocks twice on the wall. You hear a loud buzzing, and a door unlocks. He pushes it open. Welcome to camp. The tall man marches you out the door to a bizarre and awesome sight. A massive building stretches out in front of you, nearly a kilometer ahead. It is surrounded by a flock of smaller, ramshackle barracks. What appears to be the galaxy's largest water tower looms overhead, brightly lit up by countless flashing lights. Its bottom rung is encircled by a battalion of endlessly wandering searchlights. The tall man grabs you by the wrist and begins to unlock your shackles. "You can run if you want," he says, gesturing to the tower, "but you won't make it far. Now follow me." Freed from your burdens, you think back to the events that led you here. This can't be that bad, you think. At least they have running water. You stop in front of a barracks near the base of a gargantuan building. It's a sad excuse for an animal shed, let alone living quarters. The tall man pounds on the door and shouts in, 815, I have a new one for you." The door swings open, and a gaunt-looking older man with a long white beard looks out. He eyes you up and grabs a folder from the tall man. 1257, he says. "Oof, 250? Okay." You don't like the sound of that. "Get in. Our shift starts in 20 minutes. 815 pulls you into the barracks. A din of laughter and conversation come to a sudden halt. Over a dozen faces are staring back at you. "This is 1257. Be nice to him. He's a 250. 815's voice rings a note of empathy. The visible look of shock on some of the men's faces is even more disheartening. Some shake their heads. One gives you a sympathetic look, then goes back to tying his boots. You scan the room. It's dim, but the questionable construction means the yard lights shine in from seemingly a million holes. There's a long row of metal bunks along both opposing sides of what is essentially a long hallway. "You're in the back," 815 says, "and you've got 5 minutes to get ready." You're marched single file toward the colossal building. As one of the bay doors opens, you're greeted by a wave of heat and the unmistakable creaking of conveyors. The men begin to spread out, and 815 hangs back. "Follow me," he shouts, hoping you can hear him over the incessant din. "You'll be on cleanup for the foreseeable future," he says. "I'll show you where to go." He walks you past a massive pit in the floor, where some men are pouring molten metal out of a crucible. The light and heat blast your face. "The name of the game is Fluxite, 1257, and you've got a long way to go. You'll be over here." 815 stops near a conveyor belt overflowing with sand. He hands you a shovel and motions for you to shovel the overflow onto the conveyor. You toss your first load, and it immediately spills back over the edges. "I'll come get you for our break in 8 hours, and don't screw up." He motions to a large, gruff man walking with a stunner. They leave them set to extreme pain. After a long day of pointless shoveling, every single muscle in your body is screaming in pain. 815 comes to get you, and you about collapse with exhaustion and joy. You walk back to the entrance and encounter the rest of the campers from your tent. The men are mostly quiet, but one man approaches you and hands you a bottle of water. It's ice cold. "It's not for drinking," he says. "It's for your blisters. Trust me." You can't really trust anyone, but you're also not someone to lick a gift horse in the mouth. "Thanks," you manage to squeak out between panting. "Who do I thank?" "I'm 921, but most people call me Arinth. That's where I grew up. Now save your breath, rookie. We still have to go through search." You collapse into your bunk, exhausted. You can't think of anything besides pain. The pain of your hands, your arms, your back. The pain of hunger in your stomach. The pain in your soul. Arinth approaches you. He splashes a handful of water on your face. "Hey, get up. Shower, drink, eat. You don't want to fall asleep yet." Startled out of your stupor, you get up and head to the shower, which was really just a bare pipe sticking out of a wall above an animal watering trough with a drain in it. The cold, harsh spray gives you a second wind. Arinth takes you over to a table and hands you a plate of nutrient paste. It is reminiscent of soggy bread mixed with dirt. You've had worse. Don't worry, Aerith reassures you. Tomorrow won't be so hard. You can tell in his voice. He really wants to believe that. You wonder yourself if it will ever change. You wonder what it means if it doesn't. 8:15 approaches your bunk. He raises his eyebrows, then gestures by spreading his hands. Only about 1,000 of those to go, 12:57. And here, take these. 8:15 tosses you some baggies filled with nutrient paste. They help you get through the day. Just don't let the guards see them. Aerith chimes in and points to the shower. Tomorrow, you're doing hot pour with me. Make sure you bring extra water. They lied to you when they said it gets easier. Your second day is much worse than the first. The searing heat of the molten gold keeps all your senses on high alert at all times. You sweat so much that your heat suit feels more like a pickling jar. You look to Aerith for guidance, but he's laser focused, trying to not become molten himself. Eyes open, heads down, watch your step. He repeats this mantra to you incessantly throughout the day, almost like a prayer. At break time, he sees you begging him for an explanation. He leans in. Listen, you get good enough at this, and you can get a ticket out of here. At the end of the first week, you realize you have a decision to make. You can accept your fate or die fighting it. Your vector and the matrices of cosmic equivalence cannot be renegotiated. You decide to put your head down and watch your step. Camp life is surprisingly bearable. You fully expected things to be much worse, but ultimately everyone is here to do their jobs and go home, even if this job isn't really a choice. The guards aren't nice, but they aren't cruel. All the numbereds are either too tired or too focused to cause much trouble. Compared to your accommodations when you were first captured, this was luxurious. You've completely lost your frame of reference for time. You spent years without a clock, so now you just count time in shifts. After your 138th shift, you're settling in for dinner when the tall man walks in and clears his throat. Tent 3, I'm told that you're the perfect crew for a new assignment, so pack your stuff. You're being transferred.